What is happening, guys? It's Nagpal for iGyaan, and today we're going to be checking out gaming on the new iBerry Auxus Nuclea N1. Now, the device is powered by a quad-core chipset, has a full HD display, 13 megapixel camera at the back, 8 megapixel camera in the front, 1 GB of RAM, 4 GB of storage, and a 64 GB micro SD card compatibility. So we expected that this device is going to perform really well while gaming, and it just started off like that. So while playing virtual tennis, we were really happy with the overall feedback from the device. Touch response was brilliant, and the audio playback was loud and clear. The game played out really nicely on the Auxus Nuclea N1, and we were very happy with the overall performance. Check a bit of the gameplay. Now, while virtual tennis played out nice, here's where things started to get a little dodgy. The next game we tried to play was Real Racing 3, and after it took a really long time to install, we finally got the game up and running. The minute the starting animation started to play, you tap on the screen and the game starts to run. But there is no display output, so you are playing the game. If I tilt the screen, the car on the inside of the game is running and turning and doing everything. You can hear it from the audio feedback. But there is no display. So it's an out-of-the-world experience. It's actually out-of-the-device experience. We couldn't see any gameplay feedback, and we are quite disappointed with the overall result of playing Real Racing 3. In fact, the game crashed, the device crashed, and we had no response from the device itself. So we had to do an old school BlackBerry style battery pull where it required us to pull out the battery from the Nuclea N1 and restart the device. Now, the funny thing about doing that is that the minute you do that, the device starts up and taunts you and says, "Get ready for the ride." Racing puns aside, another thing that you need to consider is the fact that loading times on this device are atrociously slow, as we saw with Asphalt 7. Honestly, the overall end resultant is not nice. Asphalt 7 takes about 5 minutes to load up the first game, and once the game does load up, the graphics are really slow and choppy. The touchscreen does not work really well, and in fact, when you're turning the device, the response from the game is really slow. So it's really difficult to navigate using the accelerometer because you often don't realize that you've turned too far. So the game is choppy, unresponsive, and does not work well, and you might end up crashing yourself quite so often. The last thing we checked out was Nova 3. Now, Nova 3 is a really graphics intense game, and it took a really long time to install. In fact, we had to quit the install twice and then leave the device for about 30 minutes so that the install would complete on the Auxus Nuclea N1. Once we did manage to get the game installed on the device, it was a completely different story altogether. Now, the first chapter took about 35 minutes to load, and in the meantime, we were playing around with the device. We waited, and it just did not happen. When it did finally happen, the gaming experience was not up to mark. In fact, the loading screens, the animations, everything is really slow. With the kind of hardware available on the inside of the Auxus Nuclea N1, you would expect that the device would at least do this amount of gaming. It just appears that the full HD display is already a load on the GPU, and gaming is not going to be a highlight of this device. Testing out all sorts of games, we saw that the PowerVR graphics chip is just not capable of handling high amounts of gaming, and you'll just be happy with doing some basic arcade style gaming, and the overall performance is really slow in terms of gaming. So if you're considering the iBerry Auxus Nuclea N1 and plan to do a lot of gaming, this really might not be the handset you're looking for, because I believe the full HD display takes away all the processing power from the graphics processing unit and does not leave any room for high power gaming. If you have any questions or queries, do drop them in the comment section below. You can check us out on iGyaan.in and check out the detailed gaming review on iGyaan.in as well. Check us out on Facebook, Twitter, Google+. Make sure you subscribe to us on YouTube, youtube.com/iGyaan, youtube.com/iGyaanTV. For iGyaan Networks, this has been Bharat Nagpal. Thank you guys for watching.